All right, folks, coming in at number 12, the 12th man. In this case, that's not a good thing, and I have to say, it's a surprise, but it's Jake Smith, the OKC Mariners, and boy, did Jake have a bad week. And it's kind of an under-the-radar bad week. I feel like nobody's really talking about how bad this week was for Jake, for our intrepid commissioner, but it's tough. You know, this was a week one that was fairly light on injuries. I can remember a couple week ones in the past that have just seemed like they've had injury after injury. But for Jake, he suffered one of the few bad injuries this week, losing Jordan Love, and now he's got to rely on Baker Mayfield to go forward for at least the next couple weeks, it appears. Kenneth Walker, also on the injury report. This is just seeming like a theme with Kenneth Walker every single week for him. You know, look, I sympathize with Jake, all right? He's got a real-life win coming with these interest rates going down. Unfortunately, the fantasy life is not doing well. Frankly, his fantasy credit score is not going to allow him to take advantage of this interest rate decrease. Jamar Chase, kind of a concern how bad the Bengals looked. Now, they do typically get off the strong starts, but he's got at Kansas City next week, and you're playing Cam, who looked extremely dangerous, almost snuck up on me thanks to Jake Moody last week. Luckily, that did not happen. And then another thing, Chris Olave, you know, this is something I've noticed. Olave just doesn't seem to have a great rapport with Derek Carr. Derek Carr preferring targets such as Foster Moreau in a classic reunion touchdown that Lester was probably watching just before Gardner Minshew and his Raiders got absolutely mugged by the Los Angeles Chargers, especially on the offensive side. But with Jake Smith, I already don't love it. I was lukewarm going in, and then this week was just awful in a number of ways for this Smith-led squad. Unfortunately, Jake, I have to kind of rain on your investment, on your interest rate parade, and kind of bring you back down to earth from a fantasy perspective. But hey, you never know, could get better. When Love gets back, then you might see yourself going up in these power rankings. But I really do not like your chances against Cam next week. And unfortunately, that is why you're number 12. With that being said, we are going to be moving on to the number 11 spot in the power rankings. That's probably going to be coming out tomorrow morning, guys. But this is going to be the format for the foreseeable future for the power rankings. If you don't like it, you know, feel free to take a lot of time and come up with your own long video about what you think the power rankings will be. But I know you all are too lazy to fucking do that. So in any case, I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll continue to go tomorrow with those power rankings. But with that being said, that's going to wrap it up, folks. Have a good night.